أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد والثناء لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum, all dear brothers and sisters in Islam and all dear listeners. In the previous talk, it was stated that after Muawiyah's death, Yazid's pressure on the ruler of Medina to take allegiance from Imam Hussein caused the Imam to leave Medina and travel to Mecca. Also, when the Shiite of the Kufa learned of Muawiyah's death, they gathered at the house of Sulaiman ibn Surad Khuzai. Sulaiman asked them to write a letter to the Imam if they really wanted to help him and invite him to Kufa. But if they thought they would not be steadfast in this path, they must not do so. Those present in that session all announced their readiness, then wrote a letter to Imam Hussein and asked him to come to Kufa. This amount of requests and letters from the people of Kufa settled the issue for the Imam, who saw his life in danger in Mecca and tried to respond appropriately to their request. But according to the bad history of the Kufans and the knowledge that the Imam had of them, he first tried to find out the truth of the invitation. So he sent his cousin, Muslim, to Kufa on his behalf and wrote in their reply, "Now I have sent my brother and cousin Muslim to you and instructed him to write your situation and opinion to me. If he writes to me that your opinion is like your words and what your messengers have said and what I have read in your letters, then soon I will come to you." When Muslim was about to travel, the Imam prayed for him and said, "I hope you and I will be martyrs." In the middle of Ramadan, Muslim left Mecca to Medina, and after entering Medina, he went directly to the Prophet's mosque where he prayed, then said goodbye to his family and moved to Kufa. On the 5th day of Shawwal, he entered the city of Kufa. With the news of Muslim coming to Kufa, Shiites gathered around him, and Muslim recited the Imam's letter to them, and they cried when they heard the contents of the letter. A number of sincere Shiites such as Habib ibn Madahir and Sayyid ibn Abdullah gathered around Muslim and assured him that they would stand by the Imam for the rest of their lives. Then Muslim take allegiance from the Kufans, and according to some historical sources, 12,000 people, and according to some others, 18,000 people pledged allegiance to Muslim. Then he wrote a letter to the Imam and stated that the people of Kufa pledged allegiance to me, so come to Kufa quickly. Because the people of Kufa are with you and they do not believe in the legitimacy of the Muawiyah's family. The people of Kufa also wrote another letter to the Imam along with the Muslim letter and said that in Kufa 100,000 swordmen are waiting for you, so do not delay. As the activity of Shiites in Kufa increased, some Umayyad supporters such as Abdullah ibn Muslim, Umar ibn Sa'd, Muhammad ibn Ash'as wrote a letter to Yazid informing him of Muslims' arrival in Kufa, and in their letter they criticized the weakness of Nu'man ibn Bashir, the ruler of Kufa, and asked him to choose a powerful person to rule Kufa. After Yazid became aware of the situation in Kufa, he chose Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad as the ruler of Kufa and wrote a letter to him and said, "Go to Kufa and seek Muslim ibn Aqil and imprison him or kill him or get him out of Kufa." Ubaydullah, the ruler of Basra, left for Kufa with 500 people to arrive there before Imam Hussein. But before leaving Basra, he introduced Osman ibn Ziyad ibn Abi Sufyan as his successor, and in order to counter any possible protest, he severely threatened the people. Upon entering Kufa, Ubaydullah wore a mask so that people would not recognize him. And the people, thinking that he was Hussein ibn Ali, went to greet him and said, "Welcome, son of Messenger of God, to our city." But Ubaydullah did not say anything. The ruler of Kufa, believing that he was Hussein ibn Ali, closed Darul Imara to him and his companions. Ubaydullah, who had been silent until then, said, "Open the door because the night is late." Suddenly, at this time, one of the crowd said, "I swear to God, this man is the son of Marjana. He is not Hussein ibn Ali." Nu'man ibn Bashir opened the door and Ubaydullah entered the palace. Ubaydullah's arrival in Kufa frightened many people and reduced Muslims' activities in Kufa. Ubaydullah hired many spies to find Muslims in Kufa. One of those spies was able to show himself as a lover of Ahlul Bayt, and on the pretext that he wanted to help Muslim with 3,000 dirhams, he went to see him through a friend of Muslim and was informed of Muslim's location. Then he went to Ubaydullah and reported that Muslim was hiding in Hani's house. So Ubaydullah summoned Hani in his palace and then arrested him. After Muslim was informed of Hani's arrest, he concluded that if he did not take immediate action against Ubaydullah, it might be more difficult. So he prepared to attack his palace. Muslim ordered all his companions to gather and move towards the palace. Shortly afterwards, all the mosques and bazaars were filled with people, and it became really difficult for Ubaydullah. He took refuge in the palace and close its door. And he thought of a solution, because only 30 guards and 20 nobles of the city accompanied him. He thought a way to disperse the crowd. So he ordered the nobles of the city to go among the people, to promise them that they would be well rewarded if they cooperated with Ubaydullah, and also warned those who disobey that the great army of Sham will arrive soon. People were terrified to hear this and went home. It didn't take long for Muslims to be left alone, so that only 30 people were with him during the evening prayer. After the prayer, the same few people left him alone, and Muslim was looking for a place to spend the night alone in the dark of the night in the street of Kufa. This is how Muslim became alone in Kufa. Thank you very much, all dear brothers and sisters in Islam, for your attention to this program. In this session, we try to talk a little about the unfaithfulness of the Kufans that led to Muslim loneliness and martyrdom. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين.